Hello and welcome to another Let's Draw tutorial with Procreate. This is the illustration we'll be completing today, and as always I've provided a brush pack and colour palette for you to download. I've also included the image of the rose that we're going to need, and you'll find that all in the description below, so please do download those. The canvas size is 2000 by 2500 pixels at 300 dpi. And if you don't already know, I have a Patreon account where I post 3 exclusive Procreate tutorials a month, and you can come and join me over there with a 7-day free trial. And I'll leave a link to all of my socials in the description below, including my Patreon account. And if we're ready, let's draw. Once we've created our canvas, the first thing we're going to do is just take 2 fingers and pinch our canvas just to zoom out ever so slightly to roughly about here. We are then going to go over to our colour palette, and we're going to select the first colour, and we're going to drag this colour onto our canvas. Now you won't see any visual change, but if we go over to our layers menu, you'll see now layer 1 is white. We are then going to tap the plus sign for a new layer. We're going to go over to our colour palette, and we're going to select the second colour. We're going to go over to our brushes, and we're going to be on the monoline smooth here. I've got the opacity set to 100% and the size is set to 20%. And I might just zoom out a little bit more here. And we're going to draw in a diagonal line going from edge to edge. Hold your pencil in place to snap to the quick shape, and then tap 1 finger on the canvas. We are then going to draw in a second line, roughly about here. Diagonal line, hold your pencil in place, and then tap 1 finger on the canvas. We're then going to grab this colour, and we're going to drag it into this space here. So now we've got a dark green stripe on our canvas. We're going to go over to our arrow tool. With uniform and snapping turned on, we're just going to move this over until it snaps into the centre of our canvas. So you should see those orange crosshairs, and then tap on the arrow when we're done. We're then going to go over to our layers. We're going to tap on this layer 2, and we're going to select it. Just need to make sure we're not on automatic. So being on freehand is absolutely fine. And make sure colour fill is also turned off here. So let's go back to our layers. We're going to go to layer 1. We're going to tap on it, and we're going to select clear. So now we've cut out a perfect shape of layer 2 onto layer 1. We're going to tap on layer 2. We're going to slide it to the left, and we're going to delete it because we don't need it anymore. We're now going to import the texture for our card. So let's go over to our wrench icon. We need to be on add. And it does depend on where you saved the image. If you saved it as a photo, then you'll need to select insert a photo and then select it from your gallery. If like me, you saved it as a file, you need to tap on insert a file, save mine to my iPad, and we're going to tap on card overlay. So if we tap on that, that will import over now as an inserted image, but we do need it to cover the entirety of layer 1. So let's go over to our arrow tool. We can have it in uniform, that's absolutely fine. And I'm actually going to turn snapping off here for a moment. And I'm going to grab this node here and then stretch it on over to the right hand side. And then we can grab this node here and stretch it over to the left. And then tap on it, the arrow, when we're done. We're then going to go over to our layers. We're going to tap on this inserted image, and we're going to clip and mask it. So it's only now going to clip onto layer 1. We're going to tap on the N, and we're going to scroll up to the blending mode of multiply. And then we're going to reduce the opacity down to, let's say, 50%. And then tap on the inserted image to come out of that menu. We're then going to import the image of our rose. So let's go over to our wrench icon again. Again, we need to be on add. Save mine as a file, so I'm going to tap on insert a file on my iPad, and then I'm just going to scroll down until I find the pink rose, and we're going to tap on that. We are then going to go back to our layers, and we're going to grab this inserted image, and we're going to bring it right down to the bottom so it's underneath layer 1. Now we don't want any gaps on these corners, so we're going to go over to our arrow tool in uniform, and we're going to just make this a little bit bigger. And then we're going to position it to roughly about here. So we're going to pop the rose somewhat into the center of the canvas and then tap on the arrow when we're done. We're then going to go over to our magic wand tool. We're going to go to Gaussian blur and we're going to slide our pencil from left to right until we get to, let's say, a 3% blur, and then tap on the magic wand tool when we are done. We are then going to go back to our layers. We're going to go back to layer 1. We're going to slide this layer to the left and we're going to duplicate it. We're going to go to the bottom one. We're going to tap on the N and we're going to scroll up to multiply. We are then going to grab this colour and drag and drop it onto this section, and then drag and drop it onto this bottom section. So when we go over to our layers, this bottom layer 1 now is green. We're going to go over to our magic wand tool, Gaussian blur, and we're going to slide our pencil from left to right until we get to, let's say, 15%, and then tap on the magic wand tool when we're done. Let's go back to our layers. We're going to slide this shadow layer 1 to left and duplicate it just to make it a little bit darker, and we can actually pinch those layers together. We are then going to tap on this top layer 1 here and then tap the plus sign for a new layer. We're ready to add in some text. So let's go over to our wrench icon. We need to be on add and we're going to add a text. And here we're going to type in happy. We're going to go over to our arrow tool and we're going to bring this on down, and we want these dashes here to sit parallel to that top edge there. So if we zoom in quite a bit, grab this green node in uniform and then rotate it, and we're going to bring that on down and just get it as best you can. It doesn't have to be 100% pixel perfect, but something like that is absolutely fine. And then we can pinch out and zoom out ever so slightly again, and then I'm going to bring this up to roughly, let's say, here. We're going to go over to our layers. We're going to slide this layer to the left and duplicate it. Let's go to the bottom one. We're going to go over to our arrow tool and we're going to bring this down into the bottom right hand corner to roughly about here. Tap on the arrow when we're done, and if we double tap on our word, here we're going to write in day with an exclamation mark. So now we should have something that's looking a bit like this. Let's go over to our layers and we can actually pinch these two layers together. So if you're happy with how your words are looking, we can pinch them together and then they'll become a pixelated layer. So let's pinch those. Let's go over to our arrow tool with uniform and let's just pop snapping on here. And we're just going to move this on around until it snaps into the center of the canvas. Now you may see an orange line vertically and a blue horizontal line. That's absolutely fine. And then tap on the arrow when we're done. We're now going to add in the word Valentine here in the center. So let's go over to our color palette and we're going to select the first color. We're going to go back to our wrench icon and add text. And we're going to bring this on down to sit here, but first of all we need to bring that on down to sit on top of our inserted image of our rose. And we're going to tap on that text and we can edit the text. And if we double tap on the word, we can type in the word Valentine's. Let's double tap on the word again, and then we're going to tap here where it says Ina 1 and we're going to change the font to Snell Round Hand. Now this should be a default Procreate font. So let's just scroll down until we find it. There we go, there it is there. And then we're going to tap here where it says black. And then we're going to increase the point to around the 65 point mark. We're going to go over to our arrow tool with uniform, but we're going to turn snapping off here so we've got a little bit more control. We're going to grab this green node here and we're going to rotate it again so it's sitting parallel to that bottom edge there. I'm just going to rotate it slightly, there we go, and then pop it somewhat into the center, so roughly about here. And then tap on the arrow when we're done. Now, if you find that you don't have this font, don't worry. If we go over to our brushes, I have created a stamp for the word. So if I tap on the stamp, the opacity will be at 100% and the size will be at 55%. And that's in case you don't have the font at hand. Now let's go back to our layers. We're going to slide this Valentine's word here to the left and duplicate it. We're going to go to the bottom one. We're going to tap on it and we're going to rasterize it. So now that's a pixelated layer. We're going to tap on it. We're going to alpha lock it. We're going to tap on the N and we're going to scroll up to multiply. We're then going to switch out our color to that second color. We're going to go back to our layers. We're going to tap on this layer and we're going to fill it. We're going to tap on the layer again and we're going to remove the alpha lock. We're then going to go over to our magic wand tool, Gaussian blur, and we're going to slide our pencil from left to right until we get to, let's say, 5%. We're going to go over to our arrow tool. With uniform, we don't need snapping or magnetics here. We're just going to grab this shadow layer and bring it downwards and over to the right slightly, to roughly about here. And then tap on the arrow when we're done. I'm just going to go back to the layers. I'm going to go back to that shadow layer, tap on the M, and I'm just going to reduce the opacity down to roughly around, let's say 85% here. And then tap on that layer to come out of that menu. And if I pinch with 2 fingers and go full screen with 4, that's today's tutorial complete. Thank you so much for following till the end. I hope you had fun with this Valentine's tutorial. Please do come and share your designs with me over on Instagram. I really love seeing them, and I'll give you a shout out to my stories as well. Thank you all so much for the love and support. It really means a lot to me. And with all that said, I shall see you in the next one. Bye.